Welcome to Marvel Rewind, a Marvel Champions Retrospective Series. In this series, I will be tasked with defeating every villain in order, progressing from the core set to the latest release. The catch? I'm only allowed to use cards released up until that point. After defeating the villain, they each will be ranked in terms of their difficulty, determined by the cards available at the time. Tune in every Tuesday for new episodes of Marvel Rewind. What's going on, guys? It's Char here, back with another episode of Marvel Rewind, a Marvel Champions Retrospective Series. Now, in today's episode, we are at the end of the Next Evolution expansion box, taking on none other than Stryfe, with none other than the same guy, Cable. Let's get down to the table and see how it goes. Okay. So here we are at the table. We got Cable, we got Stryfe, who I don't actually know the spoilers behind him, but apparently he's like a clone of Cable, or Cable from a distant past or future, something like that. That's the main reason why we're doing this. Also, this is a box hero, and this is the main villain of the box, so I just thought it made the most sense for this matchup here. A couple disclaimers here. I'm going to try my best to play to the best of my ability and follow every rule possible. Stryfe is not a villain that I play a lot or even at all. I think I've played him probably under 5 times in this game. So a lot of the cards in his deck I'm probably going to be reading for the first time. So I don't know if that bodes well for making misplays or not making misplays. But what I'm going to do is going to try my best to resolve the cards and play the game to the best of my ability. Assuming I'm not going to get it first try. I could, because Cable I think is one of the strongest characters in the game, and I've made a very strong deck today to take down Stryfe. But even then, I still think that it's not a guarantee here. Let's talk about Stryfe and let's talk about his setup. So we do Stryfe 2 and 3 because, as always, we're doing expert solo. The modular sets we have to include is the Stryfe set, which is here. The Hope Summer set, which is Hope Summers and this, side scheme. And then the standard and expert sets is what it says. So we've got our obligation here, and the standard and expert sets are right here. Then we have the two recommended modular sets are Extreme Measures and Mutant Protector. So we've got Extreme Measures here and Mutant Insurrection here. So all of these get shuffled together to create this very large encounter deck, in my opinion. For his setup ability, he says put Hope Summers into play under the first player's control, which is us. And then it also says reveals Stryfe's Grasp. So Stryfe's Grasp is a permanent side scheme that enters play with 4 threat and hinder 6 per player. So it's going to come in with 10. And all it says is Hope Summers can attack only Stryfe and can thwart only this scheme. So Hope Summers cannot help us with anything else while this is out. What happens when we clear this is, whenever Stryfe is defeated or the last threat is removed from the scheme, this card gets flipped over to reveal Living Bomb. And so then this comes in, has the victory keyword, which does help buff Cable's abilities a bit. Stryfe cannot be defeated. When revealed, we advance the main scheme to 2A. So all sorts of bad stuff start happening when the main scheme advances. I think that's the main scheme 2A is where all of our cards cost 1 more in our hand to play. So we do want to try and build a little bit at least to start off with. And then after that, we do want to start clearing Stryfe's Grass and this other, so we can kind of push damage to Stryfe, hopefully when we've got a lot of our upgrades down, so that we can actually play cards to defeat Stryfe and the cards he puts on the table against us. So that's going to come in with 10 threat. Stryfe also does have an ability. His one revealed says each player discards cards on the top of the encounter deck until they discard a psionic attachment and reveal that card. So we do have to remember that, and then we'll just flip this over and see what it says on this side. Starts off with 9, pops at 9 per player threat. Uncontrollable power as a forced response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player places X threat here, where X is the number of cards of the most common type in their hand. Each player may discard 1 card from their hand before calculating the value of X. So essentially, he gives us like 3 turns in order for us to kind of advance this on our own, or maybe like 1 or 2 turns if we stay in hero mode, and then it's going to advance to 2A, which basically has nothing on this side, but it does say he gains Stalwart, and your identity gets +2 hand size, but we increase the resource cost of each player card by 1. So we really do want to try and build fast and early here, and it's just so that when he does flip this over, or when we defeat this, hopefully, and we're not actually just defeating him, when we do that, we're built out. We have everything we need to in order to defeat him. He has an ability with the asterisk on his attack, which says when Stryfe is attacking you, he gets plus X attack, where X is the number of cards of the most common type in your hand. And of course, we have that one revealed ability. Cable is all about player side schemes. He can start the game with a setup ability to put one into play immediately for us to deal with. And his hero response on his hero side is after he defeats a side scheme, Cable is able to be readied up once per phase. So the whole idea is to get these player side schemes out to get a ton of value coming our way in order for us to just ready up and, just continue on building out advantage over Stryfe, getting all these things on the board and powering up our events that can thwart for like a ton, or powering up our attack event to just hit him for a ton of damage. That's essentially the idea here. We want to build, and there's going to be a lot of cards and mechanics I'm going to have to read and go over, but that's about it. We've got that shuffled up. We'll flip over to this side, 12 per player hit points, and then as always, we will cut to the game where we win, so I will see you guys there. Okay, so now we are here. We do have to resolve this one revealed ability. So each player is going to discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a psionic attachment is discarded. So I'm looking for an attachment here. These are all psionic cards. Under Fire is gone. Master Plan is gone. Shadow of the Past is gone. So I'm seeing a lot of I'm not seeing a psionic attachment as of yet. He is milling quite a bit here. Okay, Exhaustion, Assault. Okay, this is a psionic attachment. So this one says attach to your identity. If your hero attacked or thwarted this phase, discard this card. Psychic Inertia. Okay, so our stats are going to be lowered by 1 here for at least a phase. Make sure everything looks good on the camera. It does. As if something like this, it is as if something is holding Caliban back. Okay, so now we've got this, so we're going to go ahead and just do a couple more shuffles here, and then we will draw up 6 cards and hopefully get a good start against Stryfe here. Again, I don't really have any really huge metric for his difficulty, in my opinion. Again, this is not a villain that I play a ton, even at all, to be honest. So this is pretty new for me as well. Let's draw up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we started with our Technovirus Purge. Only characters other than Cable cannot remove threat from this, but we can remove threat from supports. I don't think I really care about the Purge very much. So maybe we just trash these two until we can find 2 different cards. Let's just see what we can find. 1, Death Focus. 2, the Gray Malkin. Okay. So we're going to use our ability here to, our Soldier X setup ability to search our deck and discard power for a player side scheme to put it into play. So I think we want build support. It's probably going to be our best bet here. Call for backup is okay, but I'd rather we find that later. So yeah, let's get build support. We do have the Gray Malkin in our hand currently, so we might actually just hard play that, play the Nick Fury, and then get the Helicarrier. I think that might work out really well for us if, the thing in our hand really works out the ways I think it does. So that'll be that. This is going to start with 3 per player threat on it. So I think if we play down the Gray Malkin, that we spend these 3, we do lose the Death Focus, but I think getting Nick Fury down is going to be pretty important. So let's spend this double resource here for the Gray Malkin. As a response, after a side scheme is defeated, we can ready it. And then as a resource, we exhaust the Gray Malkin to generate a Lightning resource. I think we're going to go ahead and flip up here into Cable. Let's tap this for 1 resource, and this will be 3 more resources here. We can go ahead and play Nick Fury. So when Nick Fury enters play, we can choose one. We'll do the ability to draw 3 cards here. 1, 2, 3. I think we'll go ahead and play down our Skilled Investigator. So after a side scheme is defeated, we can draw a card. Then Cable has a base of 1 thwart here, but that's still more than good enough. We're going to have Nick Fury go ahead and thwart this for 2. Drop this down to 1. Cable will thwart this for 1 and defeat it. As a response, after Cable defeats a side scheme, we can ready him. So a couple things are going to happen. So we're going to put this into the victory display. We'll just put him over here. And then we will go ahead and grab, I think, the Helicarrier here. We could also get a surveillance team, I think. But I think Helicarrier will probably be better in the long run. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Put that into play. Then what we can do is Nick Fury has a consequential. We do have to remember that. but he's going to block for us anyways here. So Nick Fury has a consequential. We are ready to up. Then after we defeat a side scheme, after side scheme is defeated, we can ready it. And skilled investigator, after side scheme is defeated, we can draw a card here into operative skill. So this is all like really good cards for us to just get building out our thwart stat here, which I think we're still just going to make use of. And I guess try and get Stryfe's grasp down. I mean, we do have a lot of cards in our hand to help us. We will spend this double and go ahead and we'll use our response here. If our hero attacked or thwarted, we'll discard this card. We'll spend this double to get down to heroic intuition. Now we have +1 thwart, so we have 3 base thwart, which is super good for all our player side schemes. I will then also tap the Helicarrier and the Grey Malkin. Well, Helicarrier will reduce it to a cost of 1. Grey Malkin will pay for it to get down operative skill. Let me see if I can get some space here. We'll get down an operative skill. It comes in with 3 counters. Whenever Cable thwarts, we can remove a counter from here. That can remove 1 additional threat. So pretty good, all things considered. We have 3 base thwart right now. Let's go ahead and just thwart for 3. Drop this down to 7, and then Hope Summers copies our stats. So her base thwart and base attack are equal to the thwart and attack of our hero. We have 3 thwart right now, so Hope will go ahead and thwart for 3, dropping this down to 4. And I think that's going to be it. We're just going to ready up and draw here. Okay, so draw up 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So call for backup's pretty good. Telekinetic Blast can help us deal a bit of damage. But we probably want to get down the call for backup and just clear that immediately. So this is going to go up. So after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player places X threat here, where X is the number of cards with the most common type. I think it's event here. Event has 3. So this will go up by 3. I think I'm okay with that. So we'll let this go up by 3. Each player may discard a card from their hand. So no, we're not going to do that. So now Stryfe is going to activate against us with a base of 1, but it says while Stryfe is attacking you, he gets +X attack, where X is the number of cards, the most common type in your hand. So we have 3 events here. So we'll go ahead and block this with Nick Fury. So that's a base of 4, 5, 6 damage. So that'll go ahead and knock out Nick Fury. Then we have an encounter card to deal with. So we'll flip this one over. Let's see. 0 with guard, patrol, and toughness. So he has guard, patrol, and tough, and it says when defeated, if the player who defeated 0 does not have at least 3 cards of the same type in their hand, he gets shuffled into the encounter deck. This guy honestly doesn't look too bad in my opinion. Yeah, I think I'm kind of chill with this guy being here for now. Okay, that's back to us. So what I think what we want to start with, we instantly want to get the Grey Malkin down to get down a call for backup. So I don't know exactly which ally I will pick here, but we definitely want to clear this. It comes in with 3 threat, and we already have 3 thwart on us. We can draw off a skilled investigator just to find more, cards and whatnot. I think what we want to do. This is tough. I think we want to thwart for 3 here. Let's just clear the call for backup. That's going to trigger a lot of things like readying, drawing a card, and us readying up. But what do we want? Search our deck and discard pile for an ally. Like, we could choose Nick Fury again, or it might be a good idea to just get a more permanent ally on the board. Monica Chang could be decent here. Let me see. Is there anyone else I would think? I mean, maybe we could just grab Nick Fury again. I mean, I don't actually hate that. I guess we should do it. I mean, I feel like the last 2 episodes were kind of just recurring Nick Fury over and over, but I think it makes sense, especially because we're trying to build early. We'll just do the Nick Fury, and we'll have him draw us 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so all our plasma telekinetic blasts are here, so we'll have to wait till another deck pass to really do a ton of damage. That's going to ready the Grey Malkin, readies Cable, and then since we defeated a side scheme, we also get to draw a card. So we have established perimeter here. Okay, what do we want to do now? We do have a ton of cards in our hand. I think the Mind Scan isn't bad. We just don't really have a ton to do with it. We have 2 cards in the victory display. I think what we want to do... I think we need to get our plasma rifle down for sure. So let's go ahead and spend 1 resource. And then the helicarrier. Let's get down our plasma rifle here. So now we can spend a energy resource to exhaust it and deal 1 damage to an enemy for each side team in the victory display. This attack gains ranged. So now we can tap the Grey Malkin to deal 2 damage to any enemy here. I honestly want this guy to shuffle back into the encounter deck. I mean, the guard and patrol and tough is annoying, but I don't think it's the end of the world here. So how do we pay for this? Or like, how do we get this to work? So I think we'll start by having Hope Summers thwart for 3 here, right? Because he just has guard and patrol. We do have to knock out 0. We'll leave this at 1. I think we'll be able to find a clear the area or something next turn. Let us cycle some cards ready off of that scheme and whatnot. So I think there's a couple things we'll be able to do. So, I mean, I really do want to see if we can flip down and get the Professor in play and get some player side schemes going. That could really be good for us here. If this pops, what happens? Reveal Living Bomb. When this comes in, you advance to 2A. And then he gains Stalwart +2 and then +1 to all to play all our cards. I think we still do want to stall to the best of our ability here. We can spend 1 more turn up. We do just want to get rid of this 0 guy. So I think we'll just attack it with Nick Fury, break the tough. We'll attack with Cable for 2, and then I guess we'll use the Grey Malkin to exhaust our plasma rifle to do the last 2. So we'll just go ahead and knock him out. If the player who defeated this does not have at least 3 cards of the same type, he shuffles back into the encounter deck. We do have 3 events. I think that's fine. We'll let him go to the discard pile here. Nick Fury will have a consequential on him. I mean, honestly, do we like hold the telekinetic blast? I don't think so. Precognition could be good here. I don't have any other resources. I think we can hold 1 maybe. So maybe we play the Professor. So let's spend 1 to play the Professor down just to thin our deck a little bit. It's only an alter ego action, so there's not a ton we can do with it right now. Let's spend 1 to play Established Perimeter here. Come in with 2 threat. When defeated, each identity gets a tough, which will help us defend. And let's use Precognition. You can look at the top X card to the encounter deck, where it's the number of side schemes. You can discard 1 and put the rest back in any order. So let's see what our boosts are here. So Psychic Inertia is a really good encounter card. I think I'm fine with both of these cards, yeah. I don't mind either of these. If it lowers our stats by 1 for a turn, I think we're okay with that. I think we'll just ready up and draw here. All right. So far, so good. Draw up 4 more cards. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So, upgrade event, ally, event, event. So we have 3 events once again. Honestly, we could try and confuse him this turn, Professor X, and then continually try and push. No, I think Professor X, we might play him and ready up Hope, who can help us continue with all the thwarting we want to do. Oh, we could also just body slide down, proc the Professor, flip back up. That could be really, really strong. Okay, that's going to go do Stryfe here. So he is going to add, what is it? It's 3, right? Because we have 3 events in our hand. 1, 2, and 3. Yes, he's going to add 3 threat. He's going to bring it all the way up to 6. Then he's going to activate against us. We'll go ahead and block this. He has a base of 4 attack, 5, 6 damage. Going to knock out Nick Fury. Then we have 1 encounter card, which we know what it is. It's the Psychic Inertia. So we lose 2 to our stats, which I think is okay. And then it's back to us. So we want to try and play everything we can before it advances to 2A, I think. So let's see, what can we do? So I think what we want to start with, we have a base of 2 thwart right now because of this Psychic Inertia. So let's go ahead and just thwart for 2 off Established Perimeter. Let's get a tough here. And that'll ready us up once per phase. And since we'll use this hero action, if your identity attacked or thwarted, we can discard this card. So Established Perimeter will go in the victory display. Give us a tough. Can also proc the skilled investigator here to draw a card into superpower training, identity specific upgrade. I wonder if I even want to play that. I don't think so. So then I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna body. Oh, I guess we should have played something first. Just because the Gray Malkin ready's. Sure, let's get this title down. We'll say we got that down. All right, now we're gonna body slide here. We'll change form each other player, and then yeah, it would have readied up. Each other player may change the form they're in. So let's go ahead and flip down here to Nathan Summers. Let's use the Professor. We're not gonna draw. We're gonna search our deck and discard pile for a player side scheme. So we'll find the Technovirus Purge and we add it to our hand. We'll also just put it into play. So that comes in with 5 threat on it. Only Cable can remove threat from this scheme. So that'll be pretty good for us. We will do, we'll flip up once more because we flipped down with the body slide. We will do, Hope can't do anything other than like attack and stuff here. I think we actually want Hope to probably hit Stryfe, and then we'll play Professor X to ready up, and then what do we do from there? I'm not sure actually. I think what we'll start with is thwarting for 3. Drop this down to 2. Then I think what we want to do is exhaust the Gray Malkin to play clear the area to remove 2 threat from a scheme. Since this is Cable, events are an extension of your identity. We will go ahead and defeat the Technovirus Purge. So while it's in the victory display, we gain the Psionic trait and +1 to all our stats. So I think I'll put this just down here. No, I'll just put it right here. I don't know how I'm going to remember I have +1 to all my stats. I'll just put a 1 on me. That will also ready the Gray Malkin, but we don't get to ready because that's once per phase. And then what we want to do is I think we just hit Stryfe with the Plasma Rifle here. How much we're dealing 4 to him. That's a really good amount of damage. Let me make sure I'm catching all of this stuff. So if we do this, Living Bomb, this will ready up after side team is defeated. Oh no, this isn't actually defeated. It's just gonna flip over. Stryfe cannot be defeated. Advance to 2A. So I think as much as I want to kind of snipe him with the rifle here, I think I still can. No, I can't because he's gonna cost 1 more, right? Each player card costs 1 more. Yeah. How can I do this? I think we just have Hope attack for 3, and then we just do everything else we'd want to do. Yeah. So we're gonna have Hope go ahead and attack here for 3, because she copies our stats and we have +1 to all of them. So we'll bring Stryfe down to 14. Then I think we'll do. Oh, I guess we can shoot him here. So yeah, let's do a Helicarrier and these 2 resources for Professor X. It uses ability to ready an X-Men character. So I'll go ahead and ready Hope Summers here. So both of these guys are up. We will exhaust the Gray Malkin to generate a lightning resource to do our Plasma Rifle on Stryfe to deal 4 damage ranged. So that's pretty good. Then what we want to do is have Hope go ahead and thwart this for 3. Or 4, I think, now is our base stat. After Stryfe is defeated or the last threat is removed from the scheme, flip this card and reveal Living Bomb. And place any threat here that was there on Living Bomb, but there was no threat. This comes in victory run. Stryfe cannot be defeated. When revealed, advance the main scheme to 2A. So the main scheme is going to advance here forcefully. So it is left to your fate. Hope breaks free from Stryfe's grasp, where she struggles to contain his powerful psionic energies. I will leave Hope to finish the job of killing you all. Stryfe laughs. I have work to do bringing about the apocalypse. So it's going to come in with 0. So now Stryfe has Stalwart. And each identity gets +2 hand size. Increase the resource cost to play each player card by 1. Okay, so all our cards cost 1 more, but we have no cards in our hand currently. Now we're going to use Professor X to go ahead and thwart for 3 off of Living Bomb. And we will defeat this. It will go in the victory display. and he will take a consequential, and that's gonna be it. We'll just ready up here and draw. Okay, so let's draw up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what is it? We get +2 hand size, 6 and 7. So we've got a mind scan, we've got lock and load, temporal leap. So yeah, we've got a couple of cards here. Nothing that's super good to push damage, to be honest. Increases the resource cost to play each player card by 1. When Stryfe is attacking you, gets +X for X number of cards with the most common type. Okay, so we have a resource, upgrade, side scheme, support, event. So it's still events here with 3. So he's getting +3 to his stats here. So Stryfe is going to activate against us with a base of 4. We'll have Professor X block it. So that's 4, 5. If you have at least 3 cards of the same type in your hand, place 3 threat on the main scheme. So that'll go ahead and go up by 3. Oh, it should have gone up by 1 anyways. So Professor X is defeated. And then we've got Psychic Overdrive. Choose a card type, then discard each card from your hand that is not that type. Drop to your hand size. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each card of the chosen type in your hand. Choose a card type, then discard each card from your hand that is not that type. Choose a card type. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each card of the chosen type in your hand. Does it have to be resource? I think it has to be resource, right? Because we might scheme out if it isn't. So let's do resource. So we'll choose resource as a card type. Discard each card from your hand that is not that type. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards discarded here. We'll draw up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it says place 1 threat on the main scheme for each card of the chosen type in your hand. So this will go up to 5. Whew. Bit scary, but we live. Okay, that's back to us. Man, he can put a lot of threat pressure on with these events. So we want to get some guys down for sure here. Jessica Jones and Hope. We're just going to start pushing damage as much as we can onto him, while also keeping the main in check. What is this? Forced response. After you attack Stryfe, take X damage, or X is the most common number of cards in your hand. Man, he's going to deal a lot of damage to us when he flips 2. Okay. Yeah, scary stuff. Okay, so what I want to do, I think, is 2, 3, 4. Pay down Monica Chang and Jessica Jones. Jessica would be pretty nice here. Take out the guards. I feel like clearing side scheme doesn't do a ton for us right here. I actually really did like the temporal leap. I thought it could give us a free flip down. But no, Stryfe is scary, man. We're about to get double encounter cards too. So I really want to find some allies, in my opinion. Man, what do we do? So I think we will play the Monica Chang. So let's just spend 4 resources here because every player card costs 1 more. Play down Monica Chang. We'll go ahead and grab a surveillance team. Are all of them in my discard? I don't like cheat and look at the deck if there isn't one in my deck. If there is one in my deck, I don't really want to draw it. Okay, there isn't. So we got a surveillance team here. It comes in with 3 counters. Cool. And then, so now we've got some threat, control on the board here. I think what we also want to do is do a, do we not have the resources? I think we just mind scan then, because I was going to play Jessica Jones, but it doesn't really work out now that I'm looking, because I do want to shoot him with the gun. So we'll do a helicarrier to reduce the cost of this to 2. Spend these 2 for a mind scan. We'll move 3 threat from the scheme, 1 additional for each card on the victory display. We'll just zero out the main here. And then we'll just push as much damage as we can. We'll do Gray Malkin here to hit him for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring him down to 6. How much? 3 and 3. And then Monica Chang can hit him for 1. 3 and 3, and then Monica Chang hits him for 1. And then how much? So Stryfe is attacking, you gets plus X. If you, after you attack Stryfe, take X damage, where X is the number of cards of the most common type in your hand. Yeah, we just have to try and push damage. So we'll do 3 and 3 here. Drop Stryfe down to 0. That's going to flip him to stage 3. So he's going to come in on stage 3. He doesn't have a 1 revealed or anything, but after you attack Stryfe, you take X damage, where X the number of cards of the most common type in your hand. So we'll have Monica hit him for 1, bring him down to 19. And yeah, that's it. I mean, we don't have any cards, so we don't take any damage here. And so we'll just ready up and draw. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Do have the telekinetic force field. Shuffle up and get an encounter card. This is tense. I don't know what he can flip in this encounter deck, but 8 really isn't a lot. And he got that one that just put 3 threat on the main, which is super scary. Okay. All right. Hopefully we draw into our big attack event. We can kind of say that's all she wrote. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 more. 6 and 7. Okay, these cards do not help us. But we can maybe set up the telekinetic force field and stuff. So let's see. He's going to go by 1. Stryfe is going to attack us. He has plus X, where it's the most common number in our hand. I think it's event here. 2 upgrades, 2 events. Okay, so he's just attacking for a base of 3. Honestly speaking, so 2 events, 2 upgrades, and an ally. He's only attacking for 3. I think I'm just going to take this hit. So he's hitting us for 3. Just 3 damage. Okay, I'm glad I took that one. We'll leave Monica Chang up. Just in case we get something worse here. The Reaper. When the Reaper attacks you... Okay, so it's just a minion here. Next one. Cerebral Erasure. When revealed, return an upgrade or support you control to its owner's hand. Player who defeated the scheme. When revealed, return an upgrade or support you control to its owner's hand. When defeated, the player who defeated the scheme returns an upgrade or support they control to its owner's hand. Okay, that's interesting. So we do have to return something right now. I don't really know what I'd want to return. I guess we could do skilled investigator. Yeah, I guess so. So we'll return the skilled investigator to our hand, and that'll be back to us. Okay, so we don't have damage really in our hand after we attack Stryfe. So that's only when so we want to spend our hand to as low as we can, and then use the Gray Malkin and stuff like that, or like use the plasma rifle and stuff to actually shoot Stryfe. So let's use the Gray Malkin because everything costs 1 extra in our hand to play down skilled investigator again, and then we will go ahead and have Cable thwart Cerebral Erasure. Yeah, we will have Cable go ahead and thwart this out. What would I return now, though? Because I could return the Professor. Yeah, let's return the Professor to our hand. So it says when defeated, the player defeated the scheme returns an upgrade or support they control to their hand. We get to ready up, draw off the skilled investigator here, and that's going to ready up the Gray Malkin. Okay, so far so good. We just need to get some stuff down here. So we have Daredevil in our hand, which you probably want to play. We want Monica probably to block for us this turn for sure. Yeah, we just kind of need to we kind of just need to draw into our big attack event. He's not putting a ton of pressure on us. I just need to see how we spend our hand here. So I definitely want the force field down just because I think it's just really good to take a big hit. We do want to get rid of this Reaper guy for sure. I just don't want these minions on the board. So how do we get all this stuff down that we want to play? Let's do a double here. I don't really care for the Professor, right? Let's just spend these. We'll keep it in hand just in case. What's something that I for sure... Yeah, I'm not going to play this operative skill. Let's spend these 4. Oh, it has to be 5. Let's reduce the cost by 1. 5 resources to play down Daredevil here. I think we will just have Daredevil swing. Oh, no. We'll have Cable swing on him. So Cable will swing for 3 onto the Reaper. He'll take 3 damage. And I think we'll have Daredevil thwart for 2. And we'll deal a damage to an enemy. So we'll completely clear the main, deal a damage to the enemy to just knock out the Reaper here. So he's gone. That's pretty good. I think we're still going to leave Monica up for a block here, but we want to spend our hand as much as possible before we start sending attacks towards Stryfe. So what I think we want to do is I think there's no way I can. Oh wait, if I have a mental, oh, this can work really well. I don't even need to use this. So we're gonna spend these 3 resources. I think we're gonna attach this to Cable. Oh no, it's just an upgrade. So when a friendly character would take any amount of damage, prevent it with the telekinetic force field. So we'll spend 3 resources for that. Then we'll go ahead and tap Plasma Rifle, spending this energy resource in our hand to deal 4 damage to Stryfe here. And then as a force response, after you attack Stryfe, where X is the number of cards, the most common type of your hand. So I don't have any cards in my hand, so no damage dealt. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop him down to 15. Then we'll have Hope swing at him for 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Drop him down to 12. That should be okay. I think 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're like 1 damage off from our big attack event doing it. So as long as we live this round and he doesn't scheme out, I think we should be okay here. Let's go ahead and ready up and draw here. All right. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Yep. Plus 2 hand size, and we do have the telekinetic blast in hand. So upgrade, ally. How many events do we have? I assume that's going to be the most. Upgrade. Okay, so we have 2, 2, and 2. 2, 2, 2. Then Nick Fury. Okay. All right, that's gonna be to Stryfe. He's gonna put 1 on here. So he's going to hit us with a base of 3 attack here. I think we'll have Monica defend this one for us. So this is 3 attack base for 5 damage. Monica's gonna be knocked out. Then we have 1 encounter card. Let's hope it's not something too bad. Caught off guard. Okay, then that's the end of the game. Discard an upgrade or support you control. We'll go ahead and get rid of the skilled investigator. Phew. I don't know why I was so tense. I thought I literally don't ever play this villain, so I don't know what to expect. He got really close with the scheme in that 1 turn, but yeah, no, this should be the end of that. Okay, so that's back to us. So what I think would be the most sense here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spend 5 resources here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's, oh yeah, spend 5. Play down the Nick Fury. Let's have him draw us 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And now we will use all of those cards essentially to play, yeah, spend for 4 resources because it costs 3 of the telekinetic blast. We will deal 6 damage to an enemy. Deal 1 additional damage to that enemy for each side scheme in the victory display. So it's a base of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage into Stryfe here, bringing him from 12 down to 1. And Hope Summers, who has been kidnapped by Stryfe, and this whole campaign is about, swings at Stryfe for 3 damage, bringing him from 1 down to 0. Boom, that is Stryfe completed on expert mode. Wow, that was pretty quick. I mean, the deck I go for Cable is absolutely crazy, but also Cable himself is crazy. But as always, let's go ahead and get down and check out the deck list. See you there. So here we are with the Cable deck, and what is there really to say about Cable? He is easily one of my favorite heroes in this game. I just love kind of like design of the character. I'm not a huge comic fan, but from what I've seen in X-Men 97 and stuff, I think he's a really cool and interesting character. I think his design is awesome, and I just love his design in this game. I think he's so strong, but in a way that's like kind of unique. People might find the player side scheme stuff boring, but I love that he mirrors like his father. His father can put X-Men characters of any aspect into his deck, whereas Cable, which I think I forgot to mention at the beginning, is able to put player side schemes of any aspect into his deck. It's kind of mirroring like his, the tactics, or like Cable always has like a plan or all these schemes going on. Scheme sounds like a villainous word, but in terms of like he knows what to do, he has a plan. He's a grizzled veteran. He's been doing this for a long time, and I just think like the thematics and the power and the gameplay and everything just really culminates into this awesome character. I love Cable. I've revisited so many times. He's probably easily my most played X-Force character. He's just great. I just love everything in his kit. He has just like so many really individually powerful cards. The Mind Scan and Telekinetic Blast that scale off the player side schemes. The Ascani Sun is a really interesting like sort of build around if you want to go like protection or something. We've got the Professor here, which lets you find these side schemes you discarded, or it's just a draw engine. Gray Malkin getting to ready off of your altar, getting to ready off of clearing side schemes. Forced Amnesia, which lets you basically add another card into a another card into the victory display to add into the side scheme. It's just like really, really good. So like if you're clearing a villain side scheme, attach Force Amnesia to it. Clearing that side scheme gets you ready, and it gets you 2 more cards in the player side scheme to just buff up your events. Plasma Rifle being a super consistent form of damage every turn. He has a telekinetic force here and the temporal leaps, 2 things to prevent kind of like lose conditions in the game. And then the body slide that, especially in multiplayer, but even in solo, they can literally give you just a free flip down. You can use your alter ego supports, you can recover, and then you can flip back up without the worry of having to thread out. Also, he has his built-in Technovirus Purge, which is just like a really cool combination of like thematics and how the character plays. He's dealing with this his entire life, but once he can get over it, he purges the Technovirus from his body. He unlocks his psionic capabilities and he gets +1 all his stats. He also, his obligation brings it back out of the victory display. It's just everything just really culminates to this really awesome character, this really awesome deck, and I'm excited to talk about it. Let's start with the basic cards. We're on Death Focus and Helicarrier. His events all are superpower trading, and a couple of his upgrades are as well, so it's just a way to discount him. Helicarrier is just a classic here, especially for build support if we already have our Gray Malkin out. This is just another target for us to discount cards and get us playing cards early. For our basic allies, we're on Deadpool, Professor X, and Nick Fury. These guys are all really consistent and cheap. Deadpool can get like 2 activations and a block for us with just a good stat line. Professor X can give us a Confuse or Ready an X-Men character. As you saw, we were able to ready Hope Summers because she is an X-Men character, so that's some synergy there. And, he can confuse. But again, Stryfe has Stalwart, so it's kind of hard to make use of that. It really is there for the ready. Then we have Nick Fury here, who's a classic, draws us cards, just gets us to continue building. I think he's absolutely insane in this deck, considering we can play Call for Backup and get him out again. Like you saw, we got him on the first turn, then we just got him back the second turn. And the amount we were able to build in those 2 turns was more than enough to kind of defeat Stryfe. We're on the 3 basic doubles, Energy, Genius, and Strength. Just classic cards here. Then when we move on to Justice, we're on 3, Clear the Area. This card's insanely broken in solo because it can cycle you a card, and especially because we're putting side schemes into play, some which it can clear immediately. We put the side scheme into play, and then we get the value off of clearing the side scheme from the Clear the Areas and the Skilled Investigator. So it's a really good resource loop to get built and get damage on the table. Speaking of Skilled Investigator, 1 copy here. After your side scheme is defeated, exhausted to draw a card. Cable's whole thing is side schemes, so you're just getting extra draws on top of being able to ready up. 2 copies of Operative Skill. This came with Gambit. Whenever you thwart, you can remove 1 counter from here. That thwart removes 1 additional threat. It's just a really flexible way to bump up your thwart stat. It isn't limited by an exhaust or anything, so you could spend all 3 counters on 1 turn if you were able to thwart enough times. Turns your Clear the Areas into 1 for 3s, which is even more efficient at taking out like superpower training or build support and what have you. And then we're on a Heroic Intuition, just in case. It's probably worse than Heroic Intuition to Clear the Areas, but it's also in here because without our Technovirus in the victory display, this gives us that 3 thwart stat for us to just clear these side schemes on our own. We're on 3 copies of Surveillance Team, and this is mostly because we're on the Monica Chang ally. This also does have a hidden synergy with Technovirus Purge, because this is a support and not a character, it's actually able to help us remove threat from that, as far as I'm aware. Monica Chang here, just able to get a surveillance team into play and puts one extra counter on them. Just a really good value play. Jessica Jones and Daredevil are just the core box goats, just two really good Justice allies, especially because we're trying to limit our card pool as much as possible. And wrapping it up with the power of Justice with Cable on the art. I think Justice is easily his strongest aspect, so it makes sense they put him on this art for the X-Men wave, the Mutant wave. Excuse me. And yeah, Cable's just awesome. This was just really fun to be able to revisit it, and one of the easier recordings because I have so much experience on the character that kind of knew what I wanted to do. I knew the plan coming in, and I think a breath of fresh air from missing the Retaliate last week. So let's go ahead and see, though, where Stryfe stacks up to the rest of the villains in Marvel Champions. I'll see you there. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about Stryfe. This one's a bit interesting because I think the amount of games and the amount of plays I have on Stryfe, even outside of Marvel Rewind, is so much lower compared to all the other villains in this game. I think literally the game I played against Stryfe right now that just completed is probably not even my 5th game. It was probably my 3rd or 4th game against him total in this game. So I don't still have a really great grasp of his difficulty, so I will try my best to rate him here. Stryfe is really interesting. So he comes in, it's one of the scenarios that I think out of Next Evolution the most, which actually sort of tries to punish you for the Hope Summers allies. It starts with this side scheme in play, which does have a lot of threat on it. It has 10 per player threat on it. 4 threat and then hinder 6 per player. So it starts with 10 in solo. It has a crisis icon, and essentially it makes Hope only be able to hit Stryfe or deal with the side scheme. So it's a really interesting way to kind of wrest the power of Hope Summers back from the player by forcing her only into specific actions on the board. That being said, her being able to help out on those specific actions does tie into the scenario, and you want to clear that scheme anyways. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because it is still a negative. When we're thinking about the rest of what Stryfe has to offer, he has really low stats, but they're kind of like deceptively low, especially in solo. As always, on his second main scheme, you could throw an under surveillance on it and be kind of okay to flip down against him over and over, but not keeping in mind the solo patch cards like that, he can actually be pretty tough and put on a bit of threat pressure. If you get him into a stage 3, that base of 2 scheme, it goes up by 1 a turn, so it'll bring it up to from 8 total. It goes up to 1, and then he schemes with a base of 2. So like if he gets a high boost effect, it's basically just like Rhino scheme. It's like 1 threat difference, so it's really not a super comfortable threshold for you to flip down against him a ton. That he also, what he does is he gives you extra cards in your hand, but when he hits that main scheme 2, which he is forced to hit after you clear kind of his side schemes, getting Hope back under your control, when you get to that main scheme 2A, he gives you 2 extra cards, which sounds great, but he also has this side effect which says every single player card you play now costs 1 more, which can completely neuter, in my opinion, certain decks in this game. There's a lot of decks that like to go like really fast and play low to the ground and play like 0 cost, 1 cost events. Making a 0 cost event 1 and a 1 cost event 2 completely changes the game. Now, if you're a hero who plays like 1 or 2 cards a turn that are really big, the numbers don't really change for you very much because you get 2 extra cards, and because you were only ever playing 2 cards a turn, the numbers kind of work out in your favor because you get 2 extra cards to your hand size, so you just use those 2 extra resources to pay for the 2 cards you're going to play anyways. But if you're hoping on playing more than 2 cards a turn, like you're not playing really big events, you're not playing like really big allies, and you're playing like, low cost events, really small, supports or upgrades and whatnot, that could be super, super brutal. It kind of feels like one of those deck building restrictions that when you go into Stryfe, there are just certain like aspects that are weaker, and there are certain decks that you really can't play against him. He also does get Stalwart when he gets to that main scheme 2B or 2A, so that's something to keep in mind, that you also can't lock down his activations like at all. You could throw in like a counterintelligence, or maybe like you're playing an Iceman with a frozen solid, but for the most part you can't lock down his activation, so you have to deal with his scheme or his attack stat, which is attack stat can also get really scary. Again, if you're playing these kind of like really focused decks that have like a lot of events or a lot of upgrades or something like that, when you draw into your hand, he can get like +3, +4 to his attack stat. So like either you flip down and deal with this scheme, which can help him scheme out, or you flip up and you have to deal with like 4 or 5 attack coming your way. It can definitely be tricky. Also on the stage 3, he further disincentivizes rush, and he makes you kind of have like a harder sequencing puzzle because he deals damage to you. He deals damage to you back equal to the number of the most common card type in your hand. So if you aren't attacking him at the very end of the phase when you have like almost no cards in your hand, you will be getting taxed a little bit, almost like a retaliate when you're trying to push damage onto Stryfe. That being said, I really don't have a great grasp on his difficulty, even after all of that, because the cable deck I played is just so overwhelmingly powerful in solo specifically. I don't think he's a pushover. I think that he has really, I think there are ways that you can kind of, build and get like a really big advantage against him on the first 2 to 3 turns before that main scheme will pop. But he still does ask a lot from you. He needs you to be able to thwart out this huge side scheme with Crisis. He needs you to be able to deal with Stalwart and a lot of damage coming your way. He does also need you to be able to play or make a deck in a way that you have like big cost events rather than a lot of really small events. And he also is really not able to be rushed very well. I think specifically on the Stryfe's grasp, it has the text on it, yes, where it doesn't even have to be defeated through like a thwart. If you actually defeat Stryfe, like if you defeat him on his stage 2, that card automatically flips over into the side where it says Stryfe can't take damage, but all the threat also moves over with it as well. So instead of having a 3 threat crisis icon on the other side, it comes in with 13, and now you have like super powered Stryfe with all your stuff costs 1 more. And you have 13 threat to get through before you can even damage him. So like it automatically shuts down one of the stronger kind of aspects or build around in solo. So I could definitely see Stryfe being somewhere in the A tier. I think I've kind of talked my way into that. Where in the A tier would I put him? Because he's like a really strong, I guess, thwarting puzzle, or like you need to be able to do a little bit of everything. I don't know if I'd say he's stronger than Ultron. I feel like he's very similar to Ultron. I think if your deck is really well, the problem with Stryfe is like if you have a lot of really strong cards, or like if you're a really strong hero, you probably won't struggle with Stryfe regardless. But it's just like the fact that he locks down so many things, I think is something to put in his favor. And so I think he's maybe a bit stronger than Venom. He has kind of similar threat pressure to him. Is he stronger than Red Skull? I'm not sure. I think right above Venom is a good spot for him. Again, I don't have a ton of, really thoughts on this villain, a ton of games or anything like that. If you guys think really differently from me, or you're way off the mark here, please let me know down in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about Stryfe? Do you think I massively overrated him, massively underrated him, somewhere in the middle? Let me know down in the comment section down below. That is the end of the next evolution expansion box, which is crazy. Really great box. Probably one of my #1 recommendations for people who want to get into this game and have a great time. Great villains and very, very good heroes in my opinion. But now that that's over, we are moving on to the final stretch, at least in terms of what I set out to do of Marvel Rewind, with the Age of Apocalypse. That's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that 100%. We start that up after a bit of a break. Our scheduled breaks, I think I put on the discussion post, was the one right after Mojo Mania and now one right after Next Evolution. But we'll get into that and finish that up before the year wraps up. Looking forward to it. A lot of great villains in this box as well. As always, leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. Do all that stuff. Take care of yourselves. Have a good day. Have a good one. See you in the next video. Goodbye.